Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. I've got three Pirates of the Caribbean action figures here, 1/18 scale. These are close to the 3.75 inch size compared to the 4-inch size, just judging by looking at them, but I will compare them with some other figures from some other ranges later. Let's crack these open in the second set of light. I have got, who's this? Blackbeard, Jack Sparrow and Zombie. They come with accessories. He's got like a cutlass stroke sword and a musket pistol, a flintlock pistol, I believe. Jack Sparrow's got some sort of, and also a it's got a bottle of rum or a ship's bottle or something, a huge white thing there. Jack Sparrow has some sort of ring, a hat, which is nice, couple of flintlock pistols, and a sword. And then Blackbeard has got a hat as well, sword, and one flintlock pistol, and some sort of ring, which is supposed to do something when you press the button. Same with this bottle, I think, but nothing happens. The batteries are dead. These are old figures. These are from 2011, so they're coming on 9 years old. Okay, I will open them in that order, I think, and see what they are like. So let's start with Blackbeard. I'll use my trusty sharp knife to very rapidly cut through the plastic. There we go. Okay, so I don't need that. We have some instructions, which I'll give a quick cursory look. So he has his hat, his pistol, his sword, and whatever that ring thing is, it just says there. And these are in English and French, these instructions. And the paper tears very easily. Maybe it's just deteriorated with age slightly. So apparently when you press the button, it reveals their zombie face. Well, the batteries are dead, so I don't think that's going to work. And I'm not really interested in replacing the batteries. Anyway, let's take out that ring, or whatever it is. So batteries go there. There's no pull out that I can see. And it won't even fit my little pink, unfortunately, but it looks quite cool. Maybe that can be a gift to some of the kids that I teach, because I teach kids. Okay, let's put that to one side. Let's pop out the figure and his accessories. Sword looks cool. Hat, yeah, that's nice. It's cool. And then his little flintlock is rather small, has to be said, as well. Okay, so hat is nice, got a nice sort of rubbery feel to it, so it will bend. It's pliable, it'll fit over heads quite easily, maybe even some different shape heads. Sword starting to deteriorate, it's going a bit sticky. That might be, maybe that's from the tape. Let me see. Yeah, that's from the tape, fortunately not from the actual deterioration. But the sword is a good size, looks nice. Nice guard there on the hand. And then the flintlock pistol needs more colouring, and it's tiny. Figures of small hands are like this. He looks like he won't hold it particularly well, but we'll see in a minute. And his hat's got a sort of pattern on the top there. It's nice to get hats like this for doing your customs. Okay, so Blackbeard, he has scabbard for his sword, which is great, and that can be taken off if you take his head off. Holster for his pistol, which is great too. Sculpt, basic but looks good. Just T-joint on the hip, so you won't have any outwards articulation. Face looks pretty nice, hair's nice. It's actually not bad. Used to add change of colours around that. That looked pretty damn good, actually. I'm pleasantly surprised by how he looks. A little bit like Hagrid from Harry Potter, just a lot shorter and smaller. Okay, so let's put his hat on. I was thinking I'd probably go that way. Even more characterful. His sword should fit very nicely. There we go. Into the scabbard. and his little flintlock pistol. Hopefully will fit quite easily. I might need smaller fingers for this. Okay, into his belt. There's a hole. Put his hat back on. He does look pretty damn nice, has to be said, and he stands up quite easily. Okay, so articulation. He has a left and a right. There is nothing else on the head. Shoulders go forwards and backwards. There's nothing else there. He has a single bicep joint, and he gets over 90 degrees on this hand and about 90 on that hand. The legs are forwards and backwards. He has a knee bend, gets almost 90, nothing else on the legs. Articulation sucks, but he looks pretty cool. Adding articulation. Hips, difficult, can be done. Ankles, not so difficult, I don't think. Shoulders, I think might be a bit difficult. You probably have to cut some of the hair off as well, because that'll impede the articulation. This piece of hair, it goes over the shoulder. How does he hold his stuff? Let's do his gun first, which I think he's going to... No, I don't actually. His grip's quite tight. His fingers are too far from the trigger. His fingers are quite stiff, which I don't like. And you have to bend them to get his hand open. So gun he's already struggling with, his little gun here. Yeah, he can't really hold that particularly well. I'm not going to say he can't hold it, because he can, just that it's not going to look very convincing. You know, it's like, ooh, it's a gun, ooh, ooh. You know, so not particularly great there. Other hand, can't do it because it's open. Sword, he holds a lot better, but that finger looks a bit strange sticking out there. But he can do it. Other hand, he won't hold the sword at all. Basic figure looks really nice. If you can find them cheap, it's worth getting, I think, for the hat and the sword and this head. Maybe even the cloak. The head hopefully comes off quite easily. I'm going to try now. There we go, because that means you can take the sword scabbard off. Looking at his jacket, that should come off too, but how it's going to come off, I don't know. Because that could be put in another figure too, but there's no open and close, and there's not something that I want to cut off. And it's not got a lot of, hasn't got a lot of stretch to it, so the way I would think is just push it up from there and bring his arms together. That's going to really stretch that out a lot, and I don't think it's going to want to do that. Underneath, he does have clothes, but a really bulky waist section, because there's nothing on the waist section here, so you've got a really bulky sort of stomach section there. It may be worth cutting that to get it off, but then it's easy to put back another figure, but I don't know. Depends, you want to keep the figure. But the head is pretty cool. And it's nice that you can remove the scabbard belt section. The part for the gun is part of his coat, so that stays on there. So let me put him over here. Next is Captain Jack Sparrow. Doesn't show much on there, so let's get my little knife and let's have a little cut. Hopefully that'll be enough. Let's have a look. Yeah. None of these rings, same one, just different colour. No light working. Probably the batteries are dead. There's no plastic pull out either that I can see. He comes with two pistols. His pistols look the same as Blackbeard's, maybe a touch bigger. Let's have a look. Okay, so his pistol is His pistols are a touch longer. They are different as well on the actual hammer, but the handle's the same, so he had difficulty holding it unless he has a small hand or a very close grip. His sword is different. It's a lot thinner, quite nice. His hat is different as well, but it's still 3 corners. And the figure does look pretty nice. Again, his scabbard can come off, even remove his head. Sculpted head, not that bad actually for a cheap toy. Does have a resemblance to Johnny Depp. Articulation is going to suck again, but the sculpt is pretty nice generally. So he has a left and a right on his head, and up and down. Shoulders are fixed. They'll go forwards and backwards and they're outwards. Bicep bend, he gets around about 90 on both hands. In fact, his hands look identical to Blackbeard's hands, so I know he's not going to hold that pistol particularly well. Forwards, backwards, and the legs. He gets a bend, but not far, and also his coat gets in the way. About 90 degrees, nothing on the ankles. There's no waist. So sword is slightly different. I think he'll hold it slightly better since this sword is a smaller gap between handle and the guard. Let's have a look. He holds that all right. Looks pretty cool. His hat fits on very nicely. And then to hold a pistol, he doesn't have anywhere to stow his pistols. So anyway, again, he's holding it like he's scared of it. Like, it's gonna go off. It might hurt somebody. Oh. So not great on that, but he does look really nice. If you're a Pirates of the Caribbean fan, this is a really, really nice looking figure. They both are. Again, let's see how his sword stows. It's just a very simple 2-hole sort of sheath. There we go. And that should, again, hopefully, I can get his head to come off. Which I can't right now. He's got too much hair in the way. I think he's up to get off. But you take his head off and that will come off, which is great for customs. Put it onto another figure if you so want. Let's put, make sure you can see Blackbeard as well. Okay. Last one is the zombie. He looks pretty cool. Then after this, I'll compare him to some other figures and we get an idea of how they scale up in terms of size. Okay, his pistol is definitely different, but I think they struggle to hold it because the handle is the angle of the handle means you can look at it. He'll be holding it very sort of strange. Sword is different again. He does have like a scabbard or semi-sheath for his sword, which is nice. He comes with this bottle-like thingy. And we have the actual zombie himself. This looks pretty cool. In fact, I do have here a tiny screwdriver. Oh, let's put this over there. So look inside these, see what sort of batteries it takes. If there are batteries, no, there are batteries I can see. Maybe there's a plastic in the way or something. Okay. Now those batteries have leaked, so I doubt that will work. Well, it will if you clean it up, I guess, but not something I'm interested in. Let's do that back up. And you get this nice sort of scenery piece, particularly if you've got like a bigger scale action figures, like maybe or 112 or 1/6. That could work, I guess. Okay, so pistol is longer barrel than the others. Handle is different. His hands are mirror images of each other, but none of them are pistol hands. So let's see how we are. If he can. Actually, just about, but it's very, very loose. He can hold that. He's a zombie. Sword. He holds better, as they all do, but still not amazing. Nice scar on his face there. Okay, so again, if you take his head off, you should be able to. Yeah, you can take off the scabbard sheath part. He has a left and a right. There's an up and down or side to side. Shoulders are just forwards and backwards. Bicep bend again is about 90 degrees. His hands turn. So these guys have, yeah, these guys have turning hands too. I missed that earlier. So my apologies. Oops. Legs again are a T-bar, which is a shame. His clothes should be easy to come off. Forwards and backwards. Paint app is pretty shocking on the legs. What is that coming out of his boots? Is that his leg? He's got ripped trousers or something, I don't know. Knee bend, he gets under 90 degrees. Looks okay. If you want these for customs, they're great. You can chop off the lower legs and they get nice pirate boots, add to figures. You can add ankle articulation quite easy to that as well. Head sculpts are pretty cool. The fact that the swords all stow away and you can do that and you can take those parts off is very cool as well. Great for doing custom figures. His cloak you can get off quite easily once you remove his head. Let me see how easy his head is to come off. If it's easy, that'd be fantastic. I'll show you. I might have to use a hot water treatment on this one as well. Let's have a look. Nah, that needs hot water treatment, but it should be just a case of arms out and then it's done. Nice looking figures. Shame that they, really cut corners on articulation. In fact, these are made by who? In fact, let's have a quick look. Jack Specific. Okay. All right, let's get a scale comparison to other figures. First, let me use who I've got close by that I can use. I'll use an acid rain fix. There's one's here, and I've reviewed him already. Okay, so you can see that the zombie scale's okay. Captain Jack is okay. I thought it'd be smaller, but I'm pleasantly surprised. And Blackbeard is okay in terms of scale. Let me use a Star Wars. This is Han Solo from Mimbam. I've not reviewed him yet. I might do him in a bit. You can see that he is smaller than all of them. And any more? Just those two for now, I think. Simple figures. They look really nice. Articulation, unfortunately, does suck. But they're worth it in terms of the sculpts. You can use the heads for other stuff. Let me put them a bit closer. And you get some decent accessories, particularly into fantasy or Vitruvian hacks. And if you want to make some pirate customs, obviously these would be your go-to figures for parts, head sculpts, clothes, guns, swords, hats, etc. Really, really, really nice. Okay, this is Awesome Action Toys. I am signing out saying please like, share and subscribe. I'll be back soon with more Awesome Action Toy videos for you. Stay happy and keep collecting. Bye-bye.